the return of a Canadian institution. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling is back. Tell a friend. Sold out crowd shaking.
Welcome back to the Maurologue, where we dive headfirst into the stories that entertain, inspire, and get those brain cells firing. The Philadelphia Eagles didn't just Eagles fly last night. They absolutely soared, delivering a 40-22 smackdown on the Kansas City Chiefs to claim their second Lombardi trophy and crush KC's hopes of a historic three-peat at Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. Let's set the scene. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs scoreless until nearly the fourth quarter. The Eagles' defense, a brick wall with attitude, 6 sacks, 4 turnovers, a pick six by birthday boy Cooper DeJean that had Philly fans losing their minds. It was the kind of defensive dominance that turns legends into myths. And Jalen Hurts, the guy put on a clinic, throwing for 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, and adding another on the ground. His performance was so good, they didn't even have to debate the Super Bowl MVP. It was his, no contest. And then there's another birthday boy, Saquon Barkley, setting 2 NFL records, most scrimmage yards in a single season and most rushing yards. Talk about making an entrance. The Chiefs tried to rally late, but it was too little, too late. The Eagles locked in their victory early, and the Lombardi Trophy is now headed back to the city of brotherly love. There was plenty to love about Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance, unless you're my fellow Canadian Drake, that is. K-Dot cemented his status as a hip-hop legend. Speaking of legends, another icon of epic performances was rocking its way onto the big screen. Enter Becoming Led Zeppelin, a new documentary chronicling the band's meteoric rise. Despite Super Bowl weekend usually being box office kryptonite, this IMAX-only release still pulled in a cool $2.6 million because Zeppelin fans don't play around. From Jimmy Page's electrifying solos to Robert Plant's howling vocals, this doc gives fans a front-row seat to one of the most iconic bands in rock history. Whether you were watching The Big Game or Led Zeppelin make it, one thing's for sure, epic moments are meant to be experienced together. And while we're talking about things that stand the test of time, let's shift gears to Valentine's Day, which is creeping up faster than an Amazon delivery. A new survey asked Americans which classic love sayings they swear by, and the results? Some heartwarming, some hilarious. Actions speak louder than words. At 92% took the top spot because, let's face it, love is about showing up, not just showing off. True love stands the test of time. At 80% held strong, proving that the best relationships aren't just about the honeymoon phase. And then there's never go to bed angry at 80%, which, let's be honest, is great advice unless you need a nap first. Of course, there were some questionable entries, too. Love is blind at 61%. Sure, sometimes. Love conquers all, 53%. Debatable, but we love the optimism. The real head scratcher? Love means never having to say you're sorry at just 13%. Yeah, try that in real life and let me know how it works out. Regarding love, let's talk about the one relationship that can turn toxic real fast. Your relationship with worry. We've all been there. Your brain starts racing like a Formula One car, and suddenly you're spiraling over something that may never even happen. But here's the twist. Trying to suppress worry makes it worse. Psychology calls it the white bear effect. The more you try not to think about something, the harder it hits. The trick? Acknowledge the worry, give it a nod, and then refocus on something meaningful. One solid technique, scheduled worry time. Sounds weird, but setting aside 5 minutes a day to let your anxious thoughts run their course actually trains your brain to stop hitting the panic button 24/7. Need another brain hack? Go to a library. No, really, a New York public library study found that libraries make life better scientifically. Turns out 92% of people feel calm or peaceful after a library visit, basically a runner's high, but for book lovers. Even digital library users, shout out to Libby fans, reported a 58% boost in optimism just by borrowing ebooks. And get this, the biggest well being boost was in lower income communities, where 73% of respondents said that libraries help them feel like someone actually cares about them. Books, free knowledge, a space where everyone belongs? Sounds like a perfect love story to me. And while we're on the subject of people feeling heard, here's a fun stat. Women between 25 and 65 speak about 3,000 more words per day than men. A new study analyzed over 2,000 people across 4 countries and found that for most of life, men and women talk about the same amount, except in that age range. Now, before the jokes start flying, let's appreciate that communication is a superpower. Words connect, inspire, and build relationships. Whether you're using them to rally a football team, write a hit song, or tell someone you love them, words matter. Just maybe not 120,000 a day, which, by the way, was the record set by the study's most talkative person. No, it wasn't me. My man was out here dropping full novels daily. And now, from words that heal to actual medical breakthroughs, scientists at UC San Francisco have found a game changing way to fight cancer with fat cells. Using CRISPR technology, researchers engineered fat cells to literally starve tumors to death. When placed next to cancer cells, these fat cells sucked up all the nearby nutrients, cutting off the tumor's food supply and stopping its growth. Early trials show promise for breast, colon, pancreatic, and prostate cancers. And the best part? This method is practical and safe because, as study author Nadav Ahituv puts it, we already remove and replace fat cells during plastic surgery. So, next time someone brings up fat cells, just remind them science just made them superheroes. And sticking with plastic surgery for a moment, remember when it was a taboo subject? Now you mention Botox and nobody raises an eyebrow. Today's motivation comes from Madam C.J. Walker, the first self made female millionaire in America. She built a hair care empire for black women, proving that success isn't found, it's created. Her words? Don't sit down and wait for the opportunities to come. Get up and make them. So, whether you're chasing a dream, battling self doubt, or just trying to find the courage to start something new, get up and make it happen. That's it for today's edition of the Maurologue. If you loved what you heard, like, share, and subscribe. And as always, go hold the door open for someone. And keep fighting the good fight.